Hello everyone, welcome back to Tablestory's Dying Order, episode 47, which I have tentatively named It's Not Over Yet. Killed me not to call it Not Yet Snake, It's Not Over Yet, but don't worry about it. Welcome back everyone. Things have changed and stuff is the same. Stuff is the same and things have changed. Everything is a little different, and things will be a little different going forward in many different ways. First of all, look, it's the players. Welcome back, players. It's so good to see you. It's this was almost a round table where we were just going to be questioning you on things and then we would never speak again. However, of course, things didn't quite go the way you were maybe expecting last week, as you thought that the end was nigh. Your characters came to what felt like the end of the road, encountered your big bad evil godlike, deity-like creature, claims itself to be a god of kinds, and the sort of rightful or best ruler of all that there is. However, you decided no, he's not. Aura specifically claimed no, he's not. Hit him with a sword, sparking a fight. You successfully defeated Deivaki. It took 2 weeks of our sessions. It took a lot less time in character for you to fight with him and eventually defeat him. It was pretty hard fought, but things didn't quite end there. The four of you jumped into this portal as the boundary that you were in was closing, and you whisked yourselves away to back to the mortal realm. You were asked a question: would you like to claim, redeem, keep your power? All of you said yes, except for Aura, who said no. And you were sent down this kind of portal back to the mortal realm, where you all landed, and you had been cut off from magic, and then you each experienced a year of time passing, and in that time you each went and did the things that you were thinking of doing, or whatever it was you got on with. Bo went and got married to somebody who looked suspiciously like Ellie. Had a little ween on the way. Suna did a few things.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would. It's all right if you forget. It's all right.
Suna did
I
a
went to
few
go see
things,
my family in Dustvale, and then
but ultimately
went back to City,
which is the home of the gnomes in Yoskorin.
Yes.
It's a jungle-like temperate place. Ellie assassinated or murdered the leader of the Assassin's Guild, Zach, and then left the Assassin's Guild and the trade and began traveling. Went to visit Suna's family as well. Probably discovered that Suna was out there, and then eventually you guys were meeting up and perhaps sending letters and things back and forth. Aura,
yes, and she's been to visit me.
right.
Everyone's been to visit me at least
Everyone's
once.
been to Suna's little jungle home off continent. Yes. And then Aura settled down in Bame with Klex and was expecting a child when, around a year later, in fact exactly a year later to the day, each of you experienced something strange, as you all came to the understanding, slowly but surely, that something was wrong. And really, that's kind of where we will begin today. The four of you are in your illusory worlds, and I think we probably see each of your characters stand up, look up, take a moment away from what you're doing, And you realize that something is off. Whatever it is, however you interpret it, something is wrong. Chaos and that connection you had to magic and all of that stuff has been gone for a year. You don't have any of your abilities, but there's still this tingling that maybe reminds you of something along those lines. At the corner of your vision, there's something there. There's a slight itch you can't scratch, a dream that you can't quite remember. And each of you comes to the realization at the same time in your different locations in Lacrin that Deavaki is in fact still out there, still alive. With the last moments before this illusory world is broken, and I mean the very last moments before this world is broken and you're returned truly to Lacrin and the mortal realm, what do you want to do? And this is the last time that magic will exist. You understand this, I think. From this point onwards, you will exist in Lacrin, the mortal realm, with no magic to assist you. And you've got mere seconds before you touch down in your starting locations, but this time it's for real.
But we get to do a spell or something before this happens?
One last thing. Imagine yourselves, yes. You're waking up now from a dream.
Please, I have something. I have to look at the other game. Please hold 1 second. I just have to get my spell out. If anybody else says anything, please.
Oh man, I'm stumped.
Whoa.
Have you ever seen The Magicians, Brad?
I don't think so.
There's this thing that they can do where they try to either make you forget or even take away your magic. But right before they went to do that to a girl, she ended up like cutting like along her, like a deep wound along her wrist. And then whenever she saw it, she kept like scratching at it, thinking like she had to remember something. And over time, it started coming back.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. And do you think you do that?
I think Ellie would try to do that.
I think it's important that we know which wrist.
The one that is not, blackened.
Right. Yeah.
The one that's not already damaged horribly.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we see Ellie, and I think you're in Dustvale probably at this point because you're at the end of this year of illusory existence, maybe sitting in an old dusty tavern in the middle of sort of western looking environment. A horse-drawn cart moves past outside and you suddenly jump up the stall, knocking over behind you, and you pull out a dagger and begin carving at your own arm all of a sudden.
Oh my god.
What about the others? Oh, I need to roll me a d20.
Okay. I'll do that. Oh, yikes!
That's a 4.
Yep, that's a 4. A measly 4.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything they want to do?
KPP, do you have any? I mean, Aura, do you have anything?
Thinking, so if you've got it.
Oh yes, I've got it ready. I can go. I would like to cast one final spell. And it's the fated lines. Close your eyes. You feel the astral lee lines flowing all around you. Opening your eyes, you may reach forward and touch an object or creature. I'm assuming we're actually still in this. Am I aware of where we actually are?
Yeah, I think it's all shutting down around you.
Right.
Things are stopping.
Okay.
There's birds flying and they suddenly stop in the air and your
So I
vision
realize
is blurring
we're
at the
still
edges.
going through this portal together.
It's ending, yeah.
Right. So I will grab onto everyone then, and then while this spell is active, you will always find your way back to each other by following the astral lines flowing from you. So I'm going to connect the 4 of us with
Bonded.
magic. Bonded, yes.
Yes, okay, so I think this is kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the illusory world, as you return to the last moment of the travel that you were doing between Deoveki's boundary and the mortal realm, the portal that was opened by Aura. There's a fraction of time that you pass through that space between and come out at the other end, and it is in that moment that you were trapped for a year. And as you're coming out of that, you guys are still probably held onto each other from the first time as you were traveling anyway, and in that time you managed to cast this spell which leaves a slight imprint, and it's very magical, but there is an imprint of an understanding and a bond between all of you. Aura and Bo, want to do anything?
So I'm clear, this is like right before we go into that world for a year.
No, it's as we're waking up.
As we're waking up. Okay.
Yeah, as we're waking up, we realize we're in the portal and we have been trapped in that momentary transit.
Okay.
We've been trapped in our minds for a year, but we haven't actually been there.
A second. 1 second.
Yeah.
I want to... I'm looking at something. Will you let me cast Pass Without a Trace over all of us?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, as long as you have the ability to do it.
So it's a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet. Would it stop if we all separated?
No.
Okay.
Guess not.
I don't think we've ever used it this way before.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because a creature that receives the bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
Okay.
And
so you shroud everyone in a magical darkness and give them the ability to hide.
Just so that Deoveki can't find us as easily. That it would maybe buy us a little more time to find each other.
All right. Oh.
All right. So I probably start bursting some tunes. I'm going to do Song of Rest. So this will allow us to hold on. Let me copy pasta that. I kept spamming that in the other Roll20. So you can use soothing music or orientation to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. So I'm going to assume as we're falling, I pull out my lute and I just start and healing notes start coming through that and start healing my allies. You guys can make a roll of 1d6 points, I think.
Well, first of all, I want Suna to roll me a d20.
Oh,
shit.
I still have. All right. 1 or 2? Oh, this is separate. This is not what I thought it was. Ooh, 20.
Wow. Holy
That's
shit.
either very good or very bad, depending on what table or what we're doing, what this is for.
Boy.
What?
You see a final vision of the future as everybody is ejected from this portal. You're all split, very similar to what has already happened to you from your perspectives a year ago. Each of you go to your original starting positions. Bo landing, Lute rolling over, Aura landing in front of her house, Ellie landing in an alleyway, dead, and then taking a sharp breath and being brought back to life. You appearing on Mount Venlin in TT, and in the illusory world, there wasn't a huge amount of chaos. There was some. There was an adjustment period. The entire time is an adjustment period, but the chaos was not too bad in terms of the fact that this entire world was once so strongly connected to magic, and a lot of things were run with magical elements. There are people with magical amulets, people with magical skills, and all of those things being removed from the world took a huge toll on it, and it sent it into a chaotic kind of period of time that calmed down a lot. The snow that covered the world melted from the moment that you guys arrived. This time, if you go through this thing, the snow doesn't melt. It continues forever until everything is dead and until there is nothing but a snow-covered planet for all eternity, until the planet explodes one day. As you land through this thing, there's going to be endless chaos. You each land in your individual places. The mountainside that you're on crumbles, breaks apart due to something underneath it towards the south in Yoskarin. The Ellie lands in an alleyway and there are explosions and destruction, buildings falling apart all of a sudden. Bo lands on a bridge, turns around, and an airship collides with a building and a bunch of rubble falling down towards where he is. Aura opens the door to her home and sees Alvin, tears in his eyes, stumbling out from the room in which she usually sleeps in. Bo did not stop the ice in this eventuality with his last chance to do so. And everybody freezes, everything dies, and everything that you fought for was wasted. So, we go back. As
this is the vision I get.
You got a
before all
vision.
of this is over.
Everything that we've done so far was just your vision. So,
Holy shit.
each of you stands up. You look up.
Holy
You take
crap.
a moment away from what you're doing to realize that something is wrong. Something is off. The chaos and the connection you had to her is gone, but there's something at the corner of your vision. There's an itch that you can't scratch. There's a dream you can't quite remember. And then each of you realizes that Deavaki is still alive. And with the last moments before this illusory world is broken, what do you all want to do? And I'll start with Sauna.
Oh, stop the snow.
Stop the snow.
Yes.
But has it not already?
No, we don't have much time and we're losing magic and quickly. You have to do what you can to stop the snow.
All right. I immediately then, with all I have left, muster my ice element and try to maybe even absorb it into me.
The sensation you get is incredibly overwhelming, but it's not one that you can't deal with. While it feels so very strange to you because it's been a year since you felt the magic or the understanding of the element of water, cold, ice, all of those things that you were so attuned to were stricken from you, taken from you, gone, disconnected. They come back to you in a rush as you wake, and this illusion breaks away from you, and you guys are just moments away from leaving this portal for the last time, the true last time, and being disconnected. You feel that sense again of water, not just the water which is flowing, but the frozen water, the water in the air, the water in the clouds, the snow which is falling, that is coming from a place of magic, but enough of it now has fallen or has coalesced in the world that it would ruin it. And you would like to draw it all to you.
Yes, if I can.
Let's see, roll me a d20.
All right. Oh, please let this be a better roll. 20.
What?
What the
These are probably the two most important rolls in the whole game.
Oh my god!
These are probably the two most important roles in the whole game.
I think it's safe to say he stopped the snow.
As
Criminy.
as you sense all of this snow all around you, each of you falling towards the opening of a portal. I don't know if you can necessarily see it or sense it. I think Aura is controlling both one end and the other because that's what she does. She opens these portals. She suddenly wakes up from this thing and realizes maybe holding on to the ability to keep this thing open. When the far end of this portal is suddenly filled with an absurd amount of snow. As all of this magical snow, which is designed to wipe all life out on the planet, to cleanse the world, to create a new cycle so that the what's left behind is a fresh, brand new, empty planet to be filled with life for Cycle 10, which will never happen. The magical snow, which is designed to do that, is drawn into this portal towards Bo with his last ounce of energy. The three of you, Ellie with a wound on her arm, Sauna with one eye black now turning to which color?
Ellie.
No, you. Your black eye.
Oh, that's right. Honey. My eyes are normally honey colored, but can I have a green one?
You can have whatever you want. That's what it is, as the connection to your demonic side and the shadow magic is taken from you. Aura loses control of the portal behind her as the magic is stricken from her, and barely holding on to the portal now filled with snow and cold. All of you are hit by it, and you finally pass through after what feels, I think, like a year into the places where we first saw each of your characters appear in this campaign. First, we see Ellie suddenly appear from out of thin air. As she passes through the portal, the white of her hair returning to blonde, the arm, which was blackened and cursed, vanishes, essentially, and what's left behind is just a severed stump just above the wrist. And she falls into the alleyway. We see Sauna stumble out onto a pathway with a mountainside behind her. We see Bo's boots hit the ground of a bridge, and Aura collides with her own front door. And now it really begins. Ellie, you wake up on your side in an alleyway. Cold ice on the floor melted as 99% of the snow here has either been removed or has now begun to melt, thanks to Bo's final
Well done, Bo.
pull. You, as you wake up, recognize your surroundings, I think, very quickly. I think you feel terrible. You're now mortal. You know that you are beside a train station in Bologna, and you're near the central area of the high city. there's maybe a couple of moments as you sort of regain your senses for a moment. You've probably got a killer headache. Your body probably feels achy. You feel your connection with the creature, which was deep within the Shadowfell, severed. The blackened cursed hand is entirely gone as you lift up your arm. Now there's just the flesh tapering off to nothing just above the wrist. When there's suddenly a cacophony of screams and an explosion. Reflexively, I think you probably look upwards towards where the sound is, and an Arcanine train slams into the side of the train station behind where you are. It tumbles over, and in the distance there's a second explosion as a newly built airship falls out of the air and crashes into a nearby suburb. Bo, not too far away, the same instance as Ellie wakes up, maybe just a moment or two before, you land on the bridge that we saw destroyed when you were lifted into a torrent of water. It's completely fine. Your odd connection to water that you once had is gone, even though your hands are covered in snow and ice. There is now no connection. You don't feel that odd dullness. There's just an odd dullness to the world. You don't feel that strange kind of understanding the world gave you once you got this element of water skill. All of your magic is gone. Not just the things you gained on this, but anything that you might have learned. However Bo learned his skills. Your spells are gone. And as you're kind of adjusting to this, up ahead in the distance, an explosive sound. There's screams, something happening towards the area where the train station is. Behind you, there is a man who falls, clutching at his chest, and you watch as his body ages rapidly before your eyes. One moment he appears to be in his 30s, then his 50s, then his 80s, and then he wastes away to just tight flesh over bone. His hand is clutching at an amulet, once magical, now just a stone. And then an airship hits the buildings nearby, and the pandemonium begins. Sooner. You land just outside of the area that you recognize to contain the pearl, on the mountainside,
Right.
Mount Venlin, just outside the jungles of CT in that area of Yoskorin. And you immediately feel abnormal, and you've already been through this once, but you've had a very terrible ricochet, whiplash here of feeling your magic return to you, understanding it was never really gone, and then losing it again immediately. In an overbearing way, your knees might buckle under your body for a moment as you suddenly become very, very mortal, and this time it's very, very real. The need for sleep and food and nourishment, the weight of your years, the sudden disconnection from endless magical sources, some of them familiar, which you had known your entire life, like the spells you knew, and maybe those that had only just taken meaning, darkness, chaos. A moment passes, and then a horrible rumbling sound begins from deep under the mountainside. As you turn around, you realize it's coming from the south. There's a strange set of noises and vibrations in the ground as you steady yourself on your staff. Then there's a popping sound in the distance. Strange small pops begin to pepper discordantly in the distance before a massive concussive wave hits the area, bending the trees, blowing the debris of the land up and around you and beyond you. Then another larger wave hits, and then another. The ground vibrations increase in intensity until it becomes what essentially feels like a full earthquake, and the mountainside around you becomes a very dangerous place to be. Now, we return to BAME. And we come to Aura first, I think. Aura, it is a very, very different experience for you than the others. Even though you understand that these things might be going on around you, there is a slight difference to the way that you're returned to the world, because you are not in a place where chaos immediately ensues. Where you are is similar to what you understand, but the area you land in is your own home. You collide with your own front door, probably, as you stumble forward. The snow is still around you. It's still over your house. It's still on the ground, but it's already melted. It looks as if half of it is missing. The slush underfoot makes you slip for a moment. Give me a d20.
Okay. 14.
14. Now, we are running a different system, ladies and gentlemen of the world. This is no longer D&D. A 14 is a success. You understand one thing about this true existence where you are. Would you like to explain to me how your nemesis ability works from your perspective?
Yes. My nemesis ability means that there is a creature or a person that I've met before, and I can mark them as my nemesis. So what I can do is I can detect them whenever they're present in my scene, even if they're hidden, or I get tingles in my temples when they're nearby. And so I have marked Deaveki as my nemesis.
Yeah, you get a ping of this. There is a sensation that he's out there. You carried it from the illusory world into this one. You understand, and each of you in your own individual locations understand that with his last moments as a godlike being, with his own last piece of magic, he attempted to trap you for as long as he could in an illusory world, presumably hoping you would die there, or hoping that it would trap you there for long enough that you would stay behind or be cut off from him. Something like that. I think you guys can grasp that understanding just through your own understandings of magic and the fact that you pick up on elements that maybe are a little more obvious to you now that you come out of this, what is essentially a genjutsu, and you land and you sense him nearby, but not so close that he's in Bame. He's in Lacrin. He's in the mortal world with you. And magic is all gone now. So whatever form he takes, who he looks like, what he's doing, what's going on with him, I don't think you understand that. But you know he's here. He's out there. He's somewhere. And he's very mortal now. Though he was before, this time, he can't hide behind magics and illusions and tricks necessarily. You know he's here. You sense him nearby enough that he's most likely in Alexandria. Probably close enough that maybe he's in the capital city, something like that. But what you don't get is, what is going on with him. You feel that straight away. It's hard to ignore for you. For whatever reason, whether it's you that's drummed this up, whether it's the last moments of magic, or whether it's just enough for you to know instinctively that he's out there. And then it fades, as does the rest of the magic that was once in Lacrin, as the entire world is cut off from the different planes, the elements of magic, chaos itself. And you're stood now in front of your own home. There is nothing really different about it necessarily from when you last saw it. Last time when this happened, it looked almost exactly the same as this. What would you like to do?
I probably get my bearings, and I feel that the nemesis to me feels like when your hairs stand up on the back of your neck and you feel your face get flushed, like when you're angry, and then it just slowly fades and the heat in my cheeks kind of goes away and my hair, the goosebumps kind of go down, and I look around because I'm just disoriented. But that whole year felt very real to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look down at my stomach.
Flat.
I just feel like this grief set in, but also a rage of the fact that I was robbed of more time and all of these memories. And so I kind of step around really quick, probably sliding around in the mud and the muck a little bit, and run into the house to see if Alvin's there.
Yeah, you open your own front door, you step in. It swings open as if it's unlocked, and inside your stuff remains where it was, to a degree. The place does appear to be in a little bit more of disarray in terms of general clutter. Not like a robbery, but as if a teenager had been left alone in this cottage for a little while, a couple months. Buns rushes in behind you and zooms across the room into the bedroom area as a small figure appears in the doorway. His eyes are wide and filled with tears. He kind of grips the side of the door, and his face is very pale. He's kind of white-knuckling the doorway as he looks like a little unsteady on his legs. Alvin looks up to you as Buns flies around above him, and he says,
What is happening? It feels as if somebody has taken the blood from my body.
I'm going to crouch down and start looking him over. Alvin, are you feeling okay?
He looks okay. He doesn't seem to be in any sort of physical danger, but you can give me a d20, see if you can work out what's going on with him.
Alvin, it's just bad things have happened and some things are changing. The world's a bit different now.
An 8. You succeed. There's a cost. I think the cost is that the memory of the illusory world is oddly fragmented for you. It's not very easy to remember everything that happened in there, and it very much feels like you're waking from a dream. More so than recalling it as if it was yesterday. Yesterday feels like the fight you were having. The illusory year is there. You recall a lot of it, but it's strange how it seems a little distant already. But you do recall that gnomes are magical in nature. They've got a very strong connection to magic, and for them it's like a sixth sense almost. In the illusory world, gnomes and many of the magical fae-based creatures, things like that, and people struggled for a pretty long time to adjust to it. It would be akin probably for us to maybe suddenly going partially deaf if everyone just suddenly did that. With time, in the illusory world, gnomes adjusted to the change and were able to carry on. But that world was created by Deivaki as a kind of extrapolated version, likely as a comfortable prison for you and the others. So what happened there is not necessarily what will happen here. However, this very much reminds you of, you've probably already done this once with Alvin in a way, something very similar to this. He's kind of clutching it himself, and he stumbles forward, kneeling down a little, and he says,
I can't hear the forest.
I think you might not be able to hear it for a while. And can I try doing a cantrip? Automagurgy? I don't know if I said it right. But
Automagurgy. Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy. Like thawing frozen something. Thaumaturgy. Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna snap my fingers and try to light a flame.
Yeah, nothing happened.
I'm just gonna keep doing it because as Aura was a teenager, she would sit down on the couch when she was bored and just light it on and off.
Yeah.
I can't make it work.
You see Alvin try as well. He clicks his fingers.
What does it mean? You know?
Well, we got to the end. I guess I thought the end where we all were together and fighting Deiveki, and then it all ended. Do you remember? Klex was here, and I touched my stomach. You had a house outside. We built you a house outside.
Are you okay?
Are you? Yeah, I'm fine. I think the world's changed. I don't think we have the ability to do what we did before or control what we did before.
How is this possible?
Chaos, or I think he kept us in a place I was happy. Alvin, you were here, and Klex was here, and we were working on the farm, and he took that away.
Lay down here.
I'll lean down.
He puts the back of his hand against your forehead.
You don't have a fever. What do you remember last?
Do I remember that magic Werbo? So that's the last thing I remember.
Yeah.
It was like I woke up from a really good dream. And all that snow that was here, Bo took care of it, and then I woke up out front. It all feels like a dream. I feel like everything's playing tricks on me.
Where is the others?
I don't know. I'll get up and I'm gonna run to the front door and open the door and see if they're out there.
Yeah, you open the door, you look out, and it looks pretty similar to how you left it, really. Just a blanket of snow, melting in most places. There's an icicle that's dripping near the front door. You're a little ways away from the town, but you can maybe hear a little bit of the town in the distance. You can hear the sounds of the forest, the classic goose, the elusive goose that is often around the home. Generally speaking, it just looks like your home as you left it before.
I'll run back to Alvin. I feel like I have to go find them. We have to figure out how to fix this.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
I bet you don't feel good. And I'm gonna crouch down and I'm gonna feel his head now.
Give me another D20.
20.
A triumph is what a D20 is now. And that means that you succeed on what you were trying to do, regardless. So what are you essentially trying to do specifically?
I know that Alvin's very magical. And I'm trying to see if he's going to be okay without that part of him. Or if there's more dire of a situation that needs to be handled.
I think you feel him. He feels fine. He feels a little hot. His brow is a little damp from sweat. What it would feel more like to you, you can maybe sense a a feeling from him. It's more as if he's having an anxiety attack. It doesn't seem like this has affected him in any physical way that is extremely detrimental, like he will fall sick from it, at least from your initial quick look over what's going on here. He certainly doesn't seem to have any like immediate issues. It just seems like this is a huge shock to his system and sense. But it doesn't, to you, seem as if he is likely to fall immediately ill or sick or anything like that.
I want you to breathe with me. We're just going to take some deep breaths, okay?
Okay.
In and out. Okay. In and out.
Okay.
You just keep doing that. I'm gonna.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, it's supposed to like calm you down.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
I'm gonna hug him.
Should we go in to get someone else, a doctor?
I think we could go to the doctor, but I think I want to take you into town, and I want you to stay with Klex for a bit, and then I'm gonna have to go somewhere.
Where are you going to go? You can't go anywhere. You're crazy right now. I mean, you're not crazy, but you're saying things. You should get her sleep. Maybe you go and have a little rest first.
I can't. I have to find I have to find them, and I have to figure out. We have to figure out how to stop. He's still here. Deiveki is still here.
What does that mean?
And he had control over all of us for so long, and I don't know if we killed him or we made it worse or what happened, but I have to find him. He's out there somewhere.
Who is it? The last time I saw you was at a lake.
A lot has happened since the lake, Alvin.
Perhaps you go and lay down and I'll get you some food. I got some stuff here.
No, I gotta take you. I want you to stay with Klex, and he can watch over you in case, if you start feeling worse, he can take you to the doctor. And I gotta find a way to get to the city.
The people in town are a little strange at the moment, though. Everyone was killed, right?
Everyone was killed? What do you mean?
The nasty people in the mansion was killed.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I didn't tell anyone nothing.
I know.
Everyone is saying that I need to find a mayor.
I think they're gonna have some bigger things to worry about.
There isn't much food left.
I know. Now that the snow's melted, do you think you could grow some here?
If I go? It's not melted. It keeps coming down. It doesn't stop. I'm a little concerned it will never stop, We should maybe move somewhere south.
We might have to. I'm gonna stand up and I have canned food just on my walls. I'm gonna start putting it into bags.
Are you, sure you don't want to stay here? I can get Klex to come here. He'll look after you for a while. He keeps asking where you went.
I know. I mean, you can bring him here, or you could go stay with him.
Stay here.
He kind of tries to stand up and he's all stumbly.
I think. Okay. No. I don't. You're not super strong right now, Alvin, and I don't like seeing you like this, and I don't want it to get worse. So, if you just, I can carry you into town, and then I want you to get better.
Where are you gonna go?
I have to go find, those folks we went with to the lake.
Yeah, the vampire.
I have to find them. She's not so bad.
The last time I saw you were a vampire, and now you're saying things like there's the day on that's lucky.
You can't. I don't know why it's worth keeping a secret. I feel like something bad's happening, Alvin.
Let me check your neck.
Really bad.
It's okay.
He's trying to check. He's grabbing at your head now and moving around.
Let me see. There's a bite wounds.
No, she didn't bite. Are you looking for a bite from the vampire?
You got blood
No, she didn't
loss.
bite. She didn't bite me, Alvin.
Grabs at your eye suddenly and opens it up.
Your eyes is dilated. I don't know what that means.
I feel like I just woke up, you know? Like, Alvin, we have to go into town. I'm gonna bring this food, and you and Klex and his dad can eat this, and you'll be safe with him. And I'm gonna try to come back as soon as possible.
Okay. If you say so.
It's probably better for you to be in town too, because I know I love this house. And when I get back, we're gonna build you a little hut outside that you can stay with us, or with me, and then we can farm the land. I think the snow will have to stop at some point, and then we'll settle in. It'll be great.
Okay. Well, I guess if you want me to do that, I'll figure out how to build a house. I suppose.
I'll help you. When I get back, I'll help you build it.
Okay then. Maybe we
I have
go
an idea.
in a minute though, because I feel a little tired.
I'm gonna carry you, and I sling over the food in the bag, and I pick him up, and I just start heading into town.
Yeah. You head out and then start walking down that trail, and it's not too far towards the town, but you probably carrying Alvin. Take your time. You have all of your stuff still on you. Your sword on your back, your bow on your back. The sword still looks brand new, but is no longer enchanted. As you start walking towards the village of Bame, as you get closer, there seems to be a little commotion on the wind. But we're going to travel to City. Sooner. Unfortunately for you,
Yes.
it's not quite as calm.
Right.
There is now what seems to you to be an earthquake of some sort.
Yes.
You're on a mountainside. There is every so often there are these concussive waves that push the trees over and kick up dirt and debris, the leaves falling, the animals and the creatures of the forest fleeing in all different directions. The pulses of this thing are random. They seem to be coming from somewhere towards the south of the continent, the island of Yoskorin. The trail that you had walked up heads north, though, back towards where your home is. What would you like to do?
So the trail leads towards my home, but what about City itself?
Yeah, your home is, I'm guessing.
It's on the outskirts. Yes.
Basically,
Okay.
yeah.
So yes, I feel like I had many questions for you, but I don't have time to think about any of that. So I am bearing the weight of my age, and with no magic, I am running full speed, which is not as fast as it used to be.
All right.
Towards my house, because I need to get help, because the whole town of City is in danger.
All right, give me a D20. I think normally I wouldn't make someone roll to run.
6.
A 6. You succeed, but there is a cost.
There's
This
always a
is
cost, Bradley.
so hard to do. This is so much harder than it should
Yes.
be. This is so much harder than it was in the illusory world. This is unbelievably difficult. On top of that, every now and then there is this pulse of a concussive wave, and you're moving down a mountainside. Now there is a trail. It's not like you're scaling down the side of a mountain. It's like a hiking trail almost, but not anywhere near as clear. But you're moving down this side of this mountain, and these pulses are kind of making you stumble. Every now and then you maybe fall a little.
Yes.
As you scrape your leg on something, you get back up and move. Then another rumble from underneath. At one point, there is what sounds like, what would sound to us like a nuclear blast in the distance, like a huge explosion, and then a rumbling. As you look behind you, you can't see anything other than the canopy of the trees. Moments later, another huge concussive blast, bigger than the others, and then the smell of maybe burning, something like sulfur, or and then a heat, which there already is a heat here. This is jungle. This is late autumn, and maybe early winter, but it doesn't really matter too much. The snows that were here that were very minimal anyway, and they've gone. You're now in a jungle, but this heat starts to build in the area. And as you move and run down towards your home, when you finally arrive, the time it takes you is so much longer than you would want it to be. The way you feel is that there's probably a borderline exhaustion. Like, you're probably on the edge of like blackout levels of exhaustion as you're stumbling forward. You can see the town of CT ahead of you. Now, CT is...
Is it still there?
It is still there.
Oh, okay.
Your home on the outskirts of it would be closer to you, but I'm presuming you can see CT from where your home is.
Yes.
You can see that it all remains. Everything appears to be basically the way that you left it. Your home still standing. The homes in CT still standing as well. Yeah?
Oh, I was just going to say, but CT is a town built on above the river.
Yes.
So if anything were to happen with the water rising, the whole town is in danger.
Yeah, there is a river that runs through CT. CT is built on top of a river mostly. The houses are on great poles and sticks that sit up because the water levels rise and fall in this jungle climate a relatively large amount. When you get there, though, the water levels appear to be pretty normal. It doesn't seem like the water levels have risen up suddenly.
If I look out to the left, where the ocean is, what do I see?
Nothing.
Just the ocean.
Calm seas.
And where is the mountain that I saw erupting?
South. You didn't see a mountain erupting, you just heard what feels like a mountain. Now, these are not volcanoes.
No, I mean in my final vision before Bo.
Oh yeah, you saw the mountainside of
crumbling, right?
Yes, the very south side of Yoskorin is almost entirely mountain. This island, it's a large island really, but it's still really not enormous in terms of what we might think of a huge island to be. The entire south side of it, from the center to the south, is like mountainous range. What you saw was, in general, these mountainsides breaking and crumbling and rocks falling down them in an avalanche style, but of course it would be rocks and stuff like that. Not necessarily like falling into the sea, not necessarily exploding, but
right.
But being
so I didn't
ravaged by
see CT in immediate danger.
No.
Okay.
But when you arrive, you can see the majority of people that live in CT are gnomes. There are some other folks here. There's a couple of turtles. There's a single human man that lives here, but mostly it's gnomes. Now, of the
no one cares about him.
Few farming gnomes that you see 2 or 3 of them stumbling around, gripping at their own heads. One farmer, again, these are in the distance and they're gnomes. They're very small, but you can make out close enough that they're stumbling around as if they all suddenly were hit with a migraine kind of sense.
Okay.
Other than that, it seems to be pretty much the same, but the rumbling and the sounds and these concussive waves are still coming from the south of the island.
Okay. I paused for a moment when I realized that CD's not in immediate danger, and I'm breathing very heavily and trying not to black out, and my knee hurts and my leg hurts, and I'm overwhelmed that I didn't actually get to go visit my family and that the world is falling apart. And I take a deep breath, and then I look at my cottage, and then I start running towards CT.
What does your cottage look like? What do we see?
Well, actually, it was an abandoned cottage that I just found and began to inhabit. It's very small. It's made of clay, I believe, because that helps the heat. Because it's very hot in this jungle, and it's overgrown. It's got a very beautiful, lush garden, and the door's open.
You
for some reason.
Yeah, you rush towards the cottage. Again, you can hear now the people of CT, the gnomish villagers. There seems to be a commotion. That sense that something is going on. Obviously, they will be reacting to the destruction, but a lot of them stumbling around kind of oddly as you rush in. When you take note of your door, you get the sensation that someone is inside.
I will head to my door tentatively.
You can hear rummaging around as if someone's going through your things.
How dare you go through my things? Come out this instant! Right now! This is my cottage!
Who's that?
What? What do you mean, who's that? It's me, the person who lives here.
Nobody lives here. This is my hunting lodge.
What? Your
My-
hunting lodge?
Yep.
I don't think so.
But who are you?
Toby? Is that you?
But wait, who are you?
What do you mean, who am I? It's me, Suna. What are you doing
Never
in my
heard of-
cottage?
Never heard of you.
What do you mean you've never heard of me?
Never heard of you.
That's malarkey. You've absolutely heard of me. I beat you last summer at the pie making contest down in CT. What is this? Absolute bollocks.
Disappear for months and don't even bother to come back with your sense of humor, honestly.
Listen, what are you doing rummaging through my things?
I wasn't rummaging, I was sorting
I heard
everything.
you rummaging. I heard it. I heard it myself.
I was furious, sorting everything was falling down during the earthquake, so I had to get it fixed.
I don't need help fixing my cottage, thank you. There's the door. Goodbye.
You've not been here fixing it for months, I would.
Well, I'm here now, and I can fix it now, and I don't need any help.
Really?
Don't look at me like that. I don't need any help.
Oh, really?
Yet, really?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be amazed at what I can do.
Right.
I know how to hatch roof fixing, and...
Yeah, mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, fine. Well, when it comes to the stilt repairs, I'll leave that to you then.
The which?
The ones that are the ones that hold up the house, they're broken and need to be fixed.
Oh, yes.
Before they fall and the house falls. You'll do that.
Right.
You'll do that.
I'll do all of that. I can do that. I absolutely can do that. Of course I can do that. I did that before I left.
I did it after you. I don't think you left so much as disappeared, really. Because normally you leave, you say to people, I'm leaving, going on a wee trip here and there, but you just, poof.
Well,
it's disappearing.
It's not disappearing. I left and I came back. I was on a vacation.
Everybody in town was worried about you asking, and
Well, I was gone longer than I thought. People were worried about me?
People in town, yeah, a couple of them asked questions when I was in. So,
Oh, well, all right. Well, I'm sorry I made them worry.
well, you can let them know, or I'll let them know.
Yeah, right. I'll tell them.
Yep, you'll tell them.
Right. I'll tell them.
And after you fix the stilts.
Right, but I can't do that right now. I think we're in trouble. Sort of. It's a long story, and I really should get down to Ceti. I think we're without magic. Your favorite thing in the whole world. The world is now magicless.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, you can do quite a lot without magic.
Well,
Fixing
I'm not
wells
saying that
and
you can't, but
water lines.
a lot of people live on magic, Toby. You can't just take it away from everybody and say, oh, the world's for the better.
Well, tomorrow I'll probably wake up and do the same thing as usual. Without magic, it's good, but it's going to be fine, I think. Probably.
Okay,
Definitely.
well, for you it might be fine.
But I'm not special.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to start walking away from him.
Wait, I mean, where are you going?
You guys leave the house. Both of you roll me. Just roll for me. It's always a d20. I'm just gonna say roll.
Okay.
From now on.
Can we make a little button?
I did make one, but then it went
on.
slightly wrong. So I'm gonna
Show macro quick bar?
Yeah, but I need to remake it.
Oh, it's okay. I got it.
The two of you walk out. A 7 and a 3, I think, means you will. There is another extreme rumble to the ground as the two of you leave this place. Again, another concussive wave hits the cottage, rattling all the things. A lot of your stuff falling off the shelves. Some of the things that you already had rolling across the ground. What does Toby look like, and what is he carrying and things on him?
I'm just a wee bit taller than Sunaz.
No, he's not. I'm taller than he is.
Definitely a wee tall, a little bit younger looking though, but a little bit taller.
How dare you?
I got emerald green eyes, and well, I've lived out here my whole life, and the sun's not kind to, so I'm a wee bit weathered and wrinkled. But you know, I mean, I've got my pack with me, and just a water skin with me, and I carry my rifle just in case I see a wee boar or something.
All of his clothes are dirty too. It looks like he never washes them.
It's deliberate. It's fashionable.
It's not fashionable at all.
There's a rumble to the ground all of a sudden. So Una, I think you stumble sideways and almost completely fall as you hit the side of the house there.
I grab her.
What? Excuse me. I will take his hand. I will hit it with my stick.
Suna,
Excuse me.
the all-powerful, the god of divination, stumbles and is caught by Ippotobeth.
No.
The human hermit. The hermit. The rumbling continues. The terrible concussive waves and the strange popping sounds in the distance. The water levels are not rising. There is no horrible waves heading towards the coast of Ceti at the moment. And that is where we're going to go to our break for the evening.
Don't leave me alone with him.
I'm afraid we must.
You'd be so lucky.
For a short while. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This is Dying Order. I've called this Last Quest because we're using the system Quest, kind of, even though I have, as usual, hacked it to bits and recreated something else, something that fits each of these characters specifically. So in terms of the actual rule set, when it comes to HP and abilities and rolling the dice and resting and things like that, the rule system that we're going to be using is Quest. From now on, there is no more magic in the world. The world has changed. Everything feels different, and that includes the system. So, thank you for watching. We're going to go to a short break, and when we return, we'll go to Bologna and see what Bo and Ellie are up to. See you in a few.
Beautiful.
Welcome back to Tablestory's Dying Order as we head over to the capital city of Alexandria and we go to Bellona. Now, same dealio, I'm afraid, young Master Bobo, as we see you standing. And there's probably a record scratch freeze frame. You might wonder how I got here. As a building is hit by a huge airship. These new things, they're very, very new technology. These floating wonders that are powered. They're one of the rarest things that exist due to the arcani that is required to power this thing. It is one of the very few sanctioned arcani pieces. This thing, which just kind of looks similar to like one of our Zeppelins maybe, but with more of an actual sea vessel-like undercarriage, strikes one of the taller towers and buildings above where you are. There is a sudden collapse of this building in front of where you are. Bricks and debris and rubble hitting the ground. The street where you are covered suddenly in debris. The smoke and dust lifting up around you, and you're suddenly lost in a haze of chaos. 2 or 3 people shove into you as they push past, running away from where you are. What would you like to do?
Oh, geez. Well, I think I'd like to leave the immediate area as soon as I can.
Yes. Roll me a d20. Let's see how successful you are.
Oh, boy. All right. 17?
A 17 is a success. On an 11 to 19, you accomplish what you were trying to do without any compromises. So, yeah, where are you going?
Well, I guess as I'm running, I'm trying to gather my thoughts. I'm back in Bellona, so I'm thinking Ellie. Ellie could be in danger, and she could be here with me right now. So I'm going to attempt to use one of my new abilities called Bond, which I can sense when my partners are in danger if we are separated. Yes. Can I give that a go too?
You can. Let's take a look. So this has a cost of 0. You can sense when one of your partners are in danger, even if you are separated. You have this odd sixth sense, some sort of strange holdover. You know, a gut feeling. This is not a magical tingling. This is a gut feeling that Ellie is not necessarily in danger, no more than you are, in the sense that this city and the chaos and the terrible danger of this horrible cataclysmic event, really, that the magic has suddenly been drawn from the world. And being in one of the biggest cities on the planet, where there are so many things, not only sanctioned arcani, but people with magic amulets, things that people can do. There are so many magical people around. You maybe in your chaos stumble past a high elf who is completely losing his mind, having been disconnected, this wizard or mage of some kind, just screaming and holding his head as this sudden rush and loss and disconnection from the magical elements that he used to know and command overwhelms him. The sense that you get of Ellie is that she's in danger in the same way that you are. The city is pretty dangerous right now. But you get more of a sense of danger from Suna.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so As I'm running, I'm trying to think where of all places would I find Ellie, and I recall the Duke and Trap, which was where the Assassin's Guild was, but I'm on the other side of the city, so I'm gonna do what I can to get there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you start moving through this place. You head towards the quickest route there is past the train station. Heading up over the bridge that you were on, away from the debris and the chaos, you're still moving past people. A woman clutching at a child running away, a bloodied man stumbling out from an alleyway, 2 or 3 people fighting in the street, crazed. Lots of people screaming and fleeing, both from where you are coming from and towards you as if you're running into danger. There really seems to just be a lot of chaos going on as you're stumbling past people. Again, people brushing into you. When you get near the train station, you can see this train, one of these Arcanine trains that you've probably used plenty of times. They travel all across Alexandria, and many continents in the world use them. You can see one which just seems to be powered down, leveled completely on the ground, and you see another turned on its side, straight through the side of the train station. You can see part of the building has collapsed in on itself. People rushing away from the area. As you approach this very busy area, roll me another d20.
Oh, all right, here we go. Oh, it's another 17.
Another 17. Yes, there is a very, very large man stumbling towards you with one hand over his eye. He stumbles forward and then falls. This very large human man stumbles and hits the ground next to you.
I'm gonna attempt to help him up.
He's huge. Like, he is maybe 6'8", maybe giant's blood. Looks like a human, but he's enormous. But he has this terrible wound on the side of his head. He looks like he's got like partial armor on. Maybe he was a town watch, but you can't tell under the dirt and grime. He seems to have passed out completely, but he is bleeding pretty badly from a head wound. He sprawls out in front of where you are, barely avoiding landing on you.
Okay, I may not have magic anymore, and I might be old and frail, but I'm gonna do what I can to help this guy. Can I at least drag him? Maybe pull him to the side where he's a little bit more safe and out of, the way?
Let's find out.
As people are running?
Give me a roll.
All right.
And you can hit up if the last thing you rolled was a d20, and I'll set you up a macro for next week. A 19. Yes. You start dragging him out of the way. You move him to the side of the road where there's slightly less chaos. He seems to be kind of unconscious, but there's not as many people running back and forth here as you place him somewhere kind of safe or away from what's going on.
Just so long as he's just away from as people
trampled.
are running. I wouldn't want him to get trampled or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I lay him against maybe a wall so he's upright, and I will also attempt to mend him.
Okay. You have an ability called Mending, which...
Yes.
Now, we've only ever seen Bo cast magic to heal. We've never seen Bo use any sort of knowledge of medicine or anything, or druidic salves or potions or something like that. How does this look as you, I assume, somehow physically take to dealing with this head wound on this man?
Yeah, so I've watched Suuna do mending time and time again, even though I've always relied on my magic, but because I've seen and her do it multiple times, I go by her ways, and I patch up his wounds, wrapping a bandage around his head, but first cleaning his wounds, obviously, drying out the blood. And I can only hope this poor fellow will push through.
And then do you head on?
I do. I have to head to Ellie.
So to use your ability Mending, it costs you 1 action point. Ability point. The action points are ability points. Adventure points. AP. You have 10. So drop that down to 9. It's at the top of your sheet.
All right.
Costs you 1 of those. Final Fantasy game. All right. You move on. As you head away from this area and start moving down the smaller streets, the chaos remains. There's still people screaming, people freaking out, things going on. You maneuver around an overturned cart and see a strange tinkered machine that kind of it just kind of looks like a four-legged cabinet or something like that you might have seen some of these tinkered machines that move around. At the head of it there is an open, broken chest. There is gold spilling out across the street as you're moving around.
Oh, that is really tempting, but in a time like this, would gold really matter?
I don't know, what do? You can move on.
Oh my god. Well, these are desperate times. I guess I'll take a few.
How much gold do you take? There's a decent amount there.
This is all for, the beneficiary of my, my partners, I will probably take as much as I can, but not too much.
I guess roll me a d50.
All right, what? All right. 25. Okay, it's half.
Okay,
I'm good with that.
25 gold. Now, I can't remember how much gold you have, and I will remember for next time, but I'm making a note that you have an extra 25. You scoop up a fistful of gold. Suddenly, 2 or 3 people rush out of nowhere. Seeing you lean down at something, you see 2 or 3 other people run in, grabbing at fistfuls of gold. One of them nudges you, pushing you a little, stumbling out of the way. You see him scarper off. The chaos continues. You move forward and down another side street before coming out onto an open one where you recognize the crossroads. As you come over the street, you know that just down one of these smaller roads is the Duke and Trap, the terrible, awful little tavern that you had visited before, where you left Grim inside to drink, where there's maybe still a gnomish body in a barrel nearby at the end of the street. And that underneath, in a basement accessed either from inside by a passcode or through the pentacle in the wall, there is access to the Assassin's Guild. What do you do?
I'm going to quickly go into the tavern to see if maybe possibly Grim might be there. I could always use extra force to get into the Assassin's Guild.
Where is Ellie?
She's standing outside. She's leaned against a wall.
Are you serious?
As you poke your head in and look around, Ellie is just stood there, as usual, part shadow, part person. There is Ellie. You maybe didn't recognize her because...
No, yes.
She
really upset.
looks really upset. So what is Ellie doing? How do you look and what's going on?
Ellie, I'm usually very calm, composed, but I'm very clearly, even though I'm not screaming and I'm not clutching my head, I'm leaned against a wall and I'm sort of staring down at my feet, and you can tell that I did cry and that I did get hit by someone, and I'm sort of just like clutching my hand. And as someone walks up, I turn and I look and I'm just like, Bo?
My heart like drops hearing Ellie's voice, and I turn and look down to her, and I'm like, I immediately help her up. Ellie, what happened to you?
Oh, well, I mean, I think I'm alive again.
It certainly look. I almost didn't recognize you. I immediately then again use mending on her. Clearly, as she's got wounds.
No, and as he starts, I push away his hands. I'm like, no, we don't. You can't fix it. It's fine. And then I show him my missing hand.
Oh my.
And I'm like, I just think I didn't get it back after the curse, but the curse is gone.
I'm just speechless, but I hold her tightly and I assure her I'm here with you now and I'm never letting you out of my sight again.
Yeah, well, we gotta find the others too.
We do. I can sense that Suna's in danger.
Yeah. Well, the closest person to us is Aura.
That's right.
We should probably get her before we head out to Suna.
Do you think we could, I don't know, maybe get a hold of Grim?
No, but I have something I need to do first. And I would try to walk into the Dukin trap.
I help her. I assist her by placing her arm over my shoulder, and I'm walking with her.
The Dukin trap is almost no different to how you left it before. The classic kind of dangerous thieves hangout. The place is kind of run down anyway. There is almost nobody in here. The two people that were in here before, Ellie, you saw two people when you maybe arrived run out from this place. They ran towards the direction that Bo came, screaming and wild with the joy of the chaos, about to take advantage of it. And as you head in, you see just the barmaid, the one that you had met before. Her name was Nell. You know her. I don't know if Bo interacted with her, but you would know who she is. She's on the Assassin Syndicate payroll. She is standing in front of the bar, kind of concerned, looking about. And as you head in, she says, "What's going on out there?
You don't want to go out there, just...
We under attack or something?"
No. I guess something like that. Kind of. And I look at Bo.
It is a mess out there. There is no more magic, and the people are...
I'm like, oh, okay, crazy old man. You don't know what you're saying. No. No, it's not. Just don't go out there. In fact, maybe you should close the doors, lock them.
Close the doors. All right, if you say so. She
don't let anyone
moves
in
past you,
unless
closing the door.
Unless, they're wearing, and I like point to my outfit, like unless they're wearing the same thing.
I ain't seen none of your lot. Not all day. I don't think they know what's going on up here.
That's probably for the better. Doesn't really concern them much anyway, not most of them at least.
Well, all right. She moves past you and heads behind the bar. She moves into the small back room that leads to an office, but in the room between there's a hatch that she moves over to. You see her unlock it with 3 different keys before opening it up and nodding towards you. Suppose you'll be going down then?
Yeah, I'll walk in.
Are you sure about this, Ellie?
Is this normal for her? Because I thought I put my key into a door myself.
Yeah, this is a different entrance.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
There's a side alley entrance where you use the pentacle to open a secret thing, or there's This is not the usual access that you would use. This is more of an emergency back exit or something. But you also know that there are several different entrance and exits secreted around. But yeah, she's kind of like a secret keeper. You also know that she's pretty well able to take care of herself as well. She's a relatively older half-elven woman, but she isn't really an assassin, but she just kind of... This bar is a front, really. And yeah, she just opens the thing up. I don't doubt this would be any different to any other way that you would have accessed.
I carefully go down, considering I'm kind of missing a hand.
I'm right behind Ellie, right behind her.
Yeah, there's a moment as you head down these steps, classic looking basement steps, and she closes the thing. You hear it lock above you, and the stairway leads down and down and down until you find another door similar to the one that you access at the other side of this, which leads into the underground bunker that the assassins use. You can open this door.
Yeah, and then I would take out the key and put it in and open it.
Yeah. You head in and things seem to be relatively normal down here. Though you don't hear anyone straight away. That's not always necessarily a sign of anything bad. Everyone's
Do I see a light in any direction? Like, you know?
Yeah, the place is lit. The lanterns are lit under here.
Not which to say that at least someone's here. I actually am gonna go straight to I have his name somewhere. Hulkon, the old dwarf.
Yeah. Let's see if he's here. I'll roll my own d20. Yeah, he is. You head round to the area that's like a common area where there's a small bar of your own, much nicer looking, red carpeted, lots of reds and blacks down here with a small bar that people use and then a small common area for people to sit in. And as you head into the room, you can see that he's the only person in here. He's got his legs up on a bar. He's sitting there with a book in one hand and a mug of ale in the other. As you walk in, he glances up and then double takes and says, "Oh, shite, you're back."
Was I not supposed to come back?
Oh, I didn't expect you to come back after... Wait, let me just... He puts the mug down, closes the book, and says, "It's, oh, you're left in a bit of a tizzy, right?"
Yeah, well, a lot's changed, as you can tell.
So you've changed your looks again, eh?
No, I'm alive again.
Alright, aye, that's right, so, right, let me just... Do I need to take notes every time you're gonna come back to life and then go dead and then... What's that all about?
It's a long story, but I need help with something. And we can explain it while maybe you help?
What?
And I hold up my hand. I hold up my stump.
Well, fuck me sideways. What the fuck's happened there?
It was cut off.
Right.
And I need a replacement. I need something, at least.
Alright, I suppose, look, see what I can do. Maybe I'll just take a seat here. You're looking a bit worse for wear. What'd you run into then? Not much that can take you down. And then,
nothing. I guess.
Hand off.
Let's just say it was a god. I just don't think they're a god anymore. When I look at Bo, because I'm really uncertain about all of this.
I take a deep sigh and I don't answer her question in front of him.
God. You know what? If it was anyone else, I'd call bullshit. But I'd take nothing less than a god to take the hand of you. Alright, I see what I can find. Use wait here. Hey, old man.
Yeah?
Don't be helping yourself to the whiskey, alright?
You can have some of the whiskey.
It's my whiskey, man.
I'll get you more. Just don't go out there. Don't go out there right now. It's a little bit chaotic. Have you heard the explosions?
What?
Okay, I guess you didn't hear the explosions. Yeah, it's a bit of chaos out there right now.
We've got some stuff. We got little, wee little, tinkered hands.
Yeah, that would do.
I think you need to train with that though, right? You know how to attach it and use it like...
You'll have to show me, actually.
I don't know how.
Well, then I'll have to find someone who does.
That was that wee little bastard went and got him, mentioning him for weeks. Alright, I'll go get one, I'll fetch it, and then we'll see what we can do.
Alright, I'm gonna go talk to Zach then while you're doing that.
Alright, don't leave him around.
I'll be following her.
A
Don't you
little
worry.
wee little handsy.
I grabbed the whiskey on the way out.
The dwarf heads out of a different door towards kind of where you know storage areas to be. And yeah, you grab a bottle of whiskey.
Uh-huh.
Technically, and here's where some rules are fun. With this system, you can only have 12 items in your possession at any one time. Your inventory is 12 items, and that's straight up hit. I won't include the gold in this. We'll figure out how to add gold to your sheets and stuff. But the you can only have 12 things at any one point. Now, I feel like we don't have to get too crazy with it. If it's just like random little bits and pieces, then it's just, you can assume you have it. But something like a bottle of whiskey, I feel like probably counts as one. So if you want to bring it, you might need to remove an item, drop one of your, I don't know, 18 daggers that you've got in your 12 items.
I do have a lot of daggers, huh?
You have so many weapons.
Actually, I'm gonna leave behind the revolver for him because it's rusty. It needs help. Like it needs a little tender love.
Pretty busted up. Yeah, you haven't had that.
I'm gonna leave behind the revolver.
So you place a rusty old revolver on the table and replace it with his bottle of whiskey, and then head out of the other doorway towards where Zach's office is, I assume.
Yes.
Let's see if he's in. You head down the long corridor past the many different rooms towards the final door along the hall. It really does seem empty in here. Again, not too uncommon for daytime. You get to the door that leads into Zach's office. What do you do?
I knock.
There's a moment, but you can hear a shuffling inside.
And as I hear the shuffling, I kick the door.
All right, give me a D20 because this is a big reinforced door. 18. You kick the door open. The door is unlocked as you slam this thing open. Zach, inside, shuffling papers, suddenly throws a flechette across the room towards you. Roll me another D20.
Oh, Jesus.
In fact, Bo, you need to as well.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
16.
16. Bo, it doesn't matter. There is a shield in front of you, and it is on Ellie's arm. There is a flechette, a tiny little miniature dagger that flies across the room. Ellie, with a buckler on the arm that isn't all beat up, lifts it up. The flechette just catching in the shield.
Poor Mitty.
Zach, standing up, looks towards the door and says, I should have known.
Who'd you think it would be? I mean, you would have, if it were intruders, you would have heard them by now. There's no way that, okay, you know what? We're not going to go into that.
So, you've come back, and you look different again. He sits down.
You know, a lot of people are saying that about me. I feel a little different. And I sit down.
You look a little worse for wear.
Worse than what I was.
Well, you're bleeding.
I did offer to patch her up, but she didn't want, and I'm gonna listen to the lady. You don't want to get on her bad side.
I'm fine. And I hand the whiskey to Bo, and I'm like, just, here you go.
Who is this?
This is my friend, Charles.
I'm Charles.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
And he's a bit of an old man, as you can tell.
And why have you brought him to me?
I haven't brought him to you. I brought myself to you. You know, or do you not know, clearly you don't know, that magic doesn't exist in the world anymore.
Every time you come in here, it's with a bolder claim.
Do you know any magic?
I know a trick or two.
Then try to do them.
Why?
Right now.
He raises a hand and clicks his fingers.
So you were either lying to me, you don't know magic, or there's no magic anymore.
Yes, or perhaps you've brought this wizard here to create an anti-magic field to trick me out of something.
He's not a wizard.
Cow.
Pretty sure he's a bard. He likes to sing and pick up ladies in bars.
It's all.
And sometimes steal from children.
What? I don't know what she's talking about, but no, I ain't no wizard. She's right on that.
He doesn't break his gaze with you, Ellie. Well, what do you need?
Well, you know, if there's no magic, that means that it just makes us even stronger. You do know that, right?
Your claim
Makes
is
you
right.
even stronger.
You say there's no magic. What, in the town? In the world? And how?
Nowhere. There's no magic anywhere.
Can't be true. He pushes his chair back and heads over towards a drawer. He opens it up and brings out a kind of brass-looking instrument. It would look something like a sailor's sextant or something, and he twists a couple of things, turning it around and around. Odd. No magic. How
The
can that be
airships went
possible?
down, the trains crashed. It's absolute chaos, people clutching their heads. I can only assume based on their clothing that they were once casters of some sort. Of, a sorcerer here, a wizard there. Even bards. Even I lost my powers. And then I got returned to normal.
On magic to live. I've seen them just shrivel up like they're nothing. It's a mess out there.
Yeah. People starting fights, people taking their own lives. It's not very pretty out there right now. And in the chaos, I thought you should know. Maybe hold back on contracts for a little while.
Go and take a look myself. He starts heading towards the door. You see him lift a cloak off of the door. No magic.
Right.
Do you know anything about it?
Oh, I know everything about it.
What does that mean?
We're the cause.
You two?
Oh.
What?
There were two others.
How long is it going to last?
If you can find a way to bring the magic back, and we can try to get it back, but... And I have a question, Brad, actually. Do all of us get a sense that Deavaki's still alive, not just Aura?
I think you have a sense that he's still alive, because you got that when you snapped. It's what snapped you out of the illusion. I don't know if you know that he's here in the world with you, and mortal, or whether he remained in his own plane or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't say anything on it. You remember when I came here and I told you we had to fight gods?
Yes.
Well, we did exactly that, only something or someone killed most of them before we could even get to them. So, I imagine one of those gods kind of was in control of the magic in the world.
Let's see.
And that god is probably dead.
Knows. Huh. You see his eyes register something, and his body slackens for a moment, and he says, I have to go and speak with somebody. Immediately. The magic is all gone.
Yes.
As if somebody has snuffed out a torch.
Yeah. Only a lot of torches can be relit. I'm not sure this one can.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna get a little replacement for my hand before I go anywhere.
You're missing a hand.
Oh, you didn't see the last hand. That's right. It was pretty much withered and rotting, and then I came back normal, and it didn't. It didn't come back with me. So Holkon's working on finding a hand for me.
You remain here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to go and speak with somebody. I'm going to find out what is going on.
Well, don't take your time.
Before you go, hi, I'm Charles. This might, we just met. But would you happen to have any spare ships, boats, or anything of the like? We need to get to a friend as soon as possible once she gets her a nice trinket.
You will also remain here, here.
Yes,
Both of
of
you.
course.
You're not locking us in your office. I have to go back and talk to Holcon.
No, you can stay inside the guild.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
When I get back, I will have a full report, everything you know. I may have company, not the type you want to get lippy with.
And it's just like almost like Ellie has sort of like a demeanor of a child around him sometimes, where she just gets so bratty and like rolls her eyes and just like, whatever. Won't get lippy.
See
I
to
never
it
get
that
lippy.
you get some food. If everything is as you say, then this is going to get very interesting very quickly.
Yeah.
Puts on his
Charles is
cloak.
right though. We will need a ship out of here.
Where do you intend to go?
My sister in
You don't remember the name.
No, do you? You've met her once before. I introduced you.
I remember how to get there. So if we can get there, it'll be fine. We just do need a it's none of your... You know what? I'm not going to tell you anyway. I don't need you following us.
Very well. This is, something else. Whatever you have got yourself involved in, it's bigger than you can understand.
Well, no, I mean...
What do you
know
think
what?
you understand? Can't possibly be... Do you know anything of the Dragonfly crew?
Do I?
I don't see why you would.
No, I don't.
Well, before you leave, I've got a story to tell you as well. I'd suggest you remain here and keep Mr. Bobo with you. He turns around with the cloak and walks out the door. And get some food in you.
Right before he walks out, I'm going to walk up to him, kind of like casually, and I'm going to pass the envelope that has Bo's name in it back to him and say, in that one, you might as well just rip it up.
He takes it, puts it in a pocket, and nods at you and then walks down the hallway towards the exit. We're going to flip back to the town of Bame. Aura, what would you have done in the immediate time after we last left?
I would have like hustled into town and headed straight to Lex's house where he lives with his dad.
So, as you come down towards the town itself, it's not quite as chaotic as the other two instances of the characters that we've seen. There are a few people that are acting strangely, but for the most part, it seems pretty similar to how it was when you left, but there is certainly like a small difference in tone. Like you can just sense that people seem on edge at the moment here. The small form of Alvin in your arms has, during this walk, become a little stronger and is probably walking along next to you. The snow is melting pretty rapidly as you walk towards town. Alvin constantly commenting on it, curious, but still seems pretty weak. As you get to the area where Klex's shop is, you can see that he's outside, and he is up, looking up at the sky with his arms behind his back, just kind of looking around, just normally. It just seems normal. He seems pretty normal. Nothing crazy going on as you two approach.
I would probably stop for a minute and process the fact that what I had experienced was only me and nobody else. And kind of take a swallow and look at Alvin. All right, let's go talk to Klex. See if he has a horse. You feeling better though?
I feel okay.
Okay, that's good. And so I'd walk over to Klex and grab him by the arm and say, "Hey, can we talk inside somewhere or outside of?"
I think he jumps, like before you even get to a thing. He jumps and he bats at your hand.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Are you okay?
Aura,
Hi.
this is. I mean, where did? You're back.
I'm back. Yeah, I know. I'm back. How are you?
Are you okay?
Yeah, that's relative. I'm okay.
Come inside. He opens the door to the hunting and arms shop that he owns. Again, there's kind of all of these swords and pieces of armor and stuff hung up. The door opens and inside there's no one there. He points back and says, "The snow is
It's melting.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of a
I think it
sudden.
should keep melting, hopefully.
Right. Where have you been?
It's kind of a long story.
Alvin said that you disappeared from the lake.
Yeah, and then you know those
I didn't say that. I did say that. I'm sorry. He asked me like really insistently.
yeah.
I did.
I mean, it's fine if you talk to Klex Alvin. It's just you know, like there's some people in town that are kind of gossips. So you don't want to tell them.
I didn't tell anybody.
No. I know that you wouldn't tell anybody. Is your dad okay?
Yes, everyone is fine. The food stores are running out. It's a little
That's,
concerning, but the snow melting, maybe we're saved just in time for winter. Lucky.
Hopefully. There's always stuff on the farm if you ever need. Please know you can go there, and I'm pulling off the bags on my back. I have a favor.
Yes, of course. The armor.
No, not that. Well, Oh. Did I never grab that?
Yes. Do you need me to see to it, or?
I don't think so. I have something else. Sorry, my vision gets blurry sometimes. I have food here. I was hoping you could look over Alvin for a bit.
Of course, yes. Why?
And this is
Are you
for
okay, Alvin?
Yeah, I feel fine now.
Fine now. Fine now?
Some things have changed. I think our world is different now. And I mean, right now, I don't think you'll notice, but I think over time, people will become more unsettled.
That's a rather vague and frightening statement to make.
I'll snap my fingers to try to create the fire. And he would have known that because we grew up together, and when we were hanging out and bored, I would do it. And I do it over and over. And hope that he notices that it's not starting.
Are you trying to cast a spell?
Yeah, I can't.
Can't.
I don't think anybody can.
Are you acting okay here? I mean, it's just that you seem, if you don't mind me saying, rather beside yourself. Do you want me to fetch my father? Perhaps I can. We can look after you. You could stay, and we can get you some food, medicine, rest.
It's not that.
Did you hit your head?
I wish I had. You know how I got my armor and we all went off. We went to the lake, and then I was able to open up portals to other places, and we were hunting down a god named Devoid, and we fought him, and I think he misled us for a very long time, but he's still here, and he's destroyed a lot of things, and I have to find that group again, and I have to try to fix this.
Okay.
I know I don't sound like I'm right. I know that, but things aren't right.
Well, I can tell that you're not lying, but when was the last time you ate?
I'm not hungry, if that...
Yes, but I think... How did you get back to town?
I was in a place that felt real for about a year. And I just woke up and realized that it was all fake a couple hours ago. And I think this god was holding me there, as well as those other travelers that were with me.
A god?
Devoid.
I've never known you to be that pious.
I'm not.
Perhaps we can get you some rest, and there really isn't much food.
Here, I mean, do you have a horse I could borrow?
A horse?
Yes.
Of what?
I have to go.
Where?
Okay. Don't say anything for a minute. Things have changed. Here's some food. And please watch over Alvin while I'm gone. I have to go take care of something. And I know that we grew up together. And regardless of the amount of time you spend with anybody, it doesn't matter. Or how much you give them. It doesn't mean anything if they don't care about you. And I know that you care about me because you've always been loyal and caring, and you've shown up for me. And your actions have always shown me more than most people have ever said with words. And I love you, and I want you to know that. And I want, when I come back, to live with you and spend the rest of my life with you and Alvin and Buns. And I know the world might not have any more magic in it, but you are the only reason there is magic for me. And I want to come back, and I want to come back, but I have to go take care of something. So do you have a horse I can borrow?
Two things. One, I love you too. Two,
You do?
no, I absolutely do not have a horse you can borrow. You'll be coming back to my house, and we're going to get you some rest. It's been...
I have to go. I
long
have to do it
time
so
you've
that
been
you
missing.
have... I have to go so that there is a future for everybody, including you, including Alvin and your dad and this town.
There will be a future. There's plenty of time. We can get you a rest. The Pyrehearts, they're all gone. They were murdered.
I know.
Yes.
That scary one that was with me killed them all. Don't tell anybody, though.
I suspected, frankly.
I mean, she's kind of obvious.
You were involved?
No, I didn't find out till later. She just, showed up and said that
You're involved
she took
in
care
this,
of them.
And you escaped and skipped town, and now you've lived in a year of a god's prison, and you want a horse to run away again.
So, in that
You have to understand how this
dream.
looks.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but in
Okay,
that
you just
year...
stay here. We're going to... help you.
I have to go. I don't have a choice.
You always have a choice, okay? We'll straighten this out.
And how do you expect to straighten it out? You just think that I'm crazy.
I do not think you're crazy. I think you're exhausted, and I don't know where you've been.
How long have I been gone?
Well, let's see. The last time I saw you was about 2 months ago.
In that 2 months, I lived a year with you. We had a kid on the way. And there was the farm. It was doing well, and Alvin lived next door. And I was finally happy. I was finally felt happy. I just woke up, and all of this is fake.
Right. I'm going to go...
So I want that to be real. So I want to go fix this.
I'd like to fetch my father. I'm sure he can help in some way.
If you think that's best.
He grabs you by the shoulders and looks in your eyes and says, "Everything is going to be fine. Okay?"
As soon as he says that, I'm just gonna grab him and hug him.
He stumbles for a moment and hugs you back. Just calm down. Take it easy. There's no rush. The snow is melting. We're going to have crops. We can discuss this dream.
I think I broke the world.
I don't think you broke the world. I think you need a good night's rest and some soup.
At least, if you go get your dad, I'm gonna send Buns. Send a message.
To where?
Hope it gets there. To my friends.
Okay. And, Alvin... Is he okay?
I think because there's no more magic, or what feels like magic, that he, some of his lifeblood, the source of his strength is draining, but he seems okay.
Okay. Alvin, you stay here. Keep an eye on Aura, please.
Okay, I'll do that. I don't think I can move very far anyway. My legs hurt.
See?
Yes. Okay. Wait here. I won't be long. He walks towards the door. He turns around and looks at you again with a concerned look and then walks out, closing the door. Alvin looks up to you and says,
I don't think he believes you. You know you sound crazy, right?
I hope that he believes me. He always did when we were kids.
It's a lot for him to understand. You know?
I know.
You should maybe just stay here.
I don't think any of you will understand until it's over, and then when I finally have the time to explain it all.
What is gonna happen if you don't go there?
That's what I'm afraid of. I don't want to not go and watch you fade.
But you said that you were gonna go and do something and come back and everything will be okay.
I guess things don't always go the way you think they are.
Why did you say that to him then?
What?
That you would come back and then there would be a nice house and that we can live there.
Because that's what I want. I want that to be true.
Why can't we do it then?
You ever get a feeling like when we were out in the forest and there would be some sort of predator and you just get a sense that something's watching you and something's there? That's how I feel it on the back of my neck, and he's here and he's not. good. He's not gonna help our world succeed. I think he wants to destroy it. And if I don't do something about it, then there won't be a house. There won't be a farm. There won't be a family.
If you are not crazy, and this is all correct, perhaps we should just steal a horse.
I know. I thought that too. I just thought...
I'll come with you, it's okay.
I just had to tell him because I don't know if I'm going to come back. And even if he thinks I'm crazy, at least I said my piece.
Flex is an idiot. But
That's not nice.
he doesn't know how to count that high. I can count higher than him by 10 numbers.
Are you jealous of him, Alvin? Is that what you're
I'm
trying to
jealous of
say?
him. I'm just saying he is not very intelligent in the head.
You know what? You don't have to be smart. Or I don't know, you don't have to be some sort of super intelligent person to love or care about someone. Sometimes people who are really smart are really annoying, okay?
Oh, I'm just saying, I think I know more letters than he does.
Well, then you're not invited to the house if you're going to be like this. I mean, come on.
Perhaps we should just go and find this person that you are looking for, and then we tell them to stop it, and then we come back, and then we say, oh, Klex, Aura was crazy for a day because she ate do you remember the pink mushrooms with the purple bits on them?
Yes, I know.
We just said that you ate them.
I'm smart. Okay, he's not that dumb. He knows that I wouldn't eat that. Like,
Yes, that dumb.
what, have you always felt this way about Klex?
Yes.
Why are you coming with me in this scenario? You're not well. You don't feel well.
Every time you go out there by yourself, you leave me behind and you come back and you look worse and you cry.
Well, forgive me for feeling like this is my safe space. I apparently it's not.
It's a perfect
So should I just stoically show up like I've always done and been like, it's fine, when inside I'm dying slowly? Inside I'm trying to constantly be like, oh, keep on smiling, even though everybody's just a dick to me and so awful. You and Klex are the only two that haven't been.
I'm just saying that we just say to Klex that we're gonna go and play in the snow for last time. Then we get on Klex's horse and we ride to go and see the person that you wanna see. And then we come back. And then you just say to Klex, oh, we had some mushrooms and we played in the snow. And then you can do whatever you want. You can say, oh, Klex, everything I said was a lie.
But it wasn't a lie, Alvin.
Yeah, but Klex doesn't know that.
I know, but that's you trying to live my life for me. And tell Alvin, when do we play in the snow? We're like adults now. We don't play in the snow anymore.
You said it's going away and we're not gonna be able to see it again. We're gonna be in the snow now.
I think you should stay here, Alvin. I don't know that I'm coming back, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know. I don't feel as strong as I did before.
You're the strongest person I know.
I can't even do this. I start snapping my fingers again.
Hey, look, pick that sword up off of your back.
I'll pick the sword off of my back.
Look at that, that's crazy. I can't lift that up.
Is it heavier than it was before?
No.
That's just because I've built up like the muscles in my arms because I've been doing this since I was a kid.
Yes, so you're strong.
I don't know. Do you want to come? I don't know that it's safe for you to come, Alvin. Also, apparently, I didn't know you had this deep-seated feelings about Klex. It just doesn't.
No deep-seated feelings about Klex. It's just, he doesn't seem to understand you like I do, so I'll come with you this time.
I suspiciously look at Alvin. I see. Okay, here's the thing. Like, you might not like Klex, but I can't imagine coming back and losing. If I survive and you don't, or something like that, and then I can't live with that. So that's one of the reasons. If you stay here, I can go take care of it.
Klex
And then
is
when I
my
come back,
friend. Okay, listen. He's like my third best friend after Barnes.
I don't know. Are you keeping track? Are you like, Alvin? What is this? Where is this coming from?
You are saying some strange things, and I want to know if what you're saying is true.
So you don't believe me either?
I believe you. If I said, Aura, I just went outside and I flew around in the trees and I jumped off the tree and then I flew up to the sun and then spoke to the sun for 3 weeks and then came back, you would say, Alvin, you've been eating the pink mushrooms with the purple bits on it.
No, not anymore. Not after what I've been through. I would be like, that sounds plausible. Nothing is not plausible now. I have torn holes in rooms and stepped through them to other realities. I have fought gods. So I'm going to tell who I love that I love them. And I love you too, Alvin. Maybe not in that way, but I do care about you deeply, which is why I want you to have a hut next door.
Why you don't love Alvin anymore?
Don't love Alvin?
Why not?
I said I do love you.
You said you don't love Alvin in that way.
Oh, no. What? I didn't know you felt that way, Alvin. I thought that...
Which way?
Okay, I feel like it's best if you just stay here.
Listen, I believe you. I went to the house and there was a woman that came from the sky with wings and she tried to kill us. And then we went across the snow with a vampire. And then we went to the lake and I fell asleep and it was all gone and the house was gone.
What happened after I left, Alvin? Did you just come back to...
Oh, it was amazing. Let me tell you about it.
And that's where we're going to switch scenes. Back to the jungles of CT.
Right, and that's when I found you raiding my cabin.
You made them lavender lemon cakes.
That's the takeaway from the god-killing story, from everything that I've told you. Yes, I made them lavender lemon cake. It was my mother's recipe.
Well, do you have any?
No, you're gonna no, there's no stealing this recipe, sir. I will win the next contest with this recipe. I know what you're doing. I already know. No, stop.
It's been months, and you know it's my second favorite. My most favorite being.
Oh, do I?
Cakes, but.
Oh, I know that it's your favorite.
Yeah. Second favorite. I mean.
Right. Well, I'm very out of breath.
Right, well,
to breathe now.
It's fine. Have some tea, and then I'll. But if you want, I can take a look at that leg.
What? No, I'm fine.
You were limping, and looks a bit.
I'm fine. But yes, perhaps we should sit down. Fighting with you is exhausting.
I'll get the tea.
Great.
So, which mushrooms did you have?
What?
But the ones you took before you had this vision with your friends about fighting gods and all that nonsense.
I should have known. Get out. I'll make the tea myself.
But you sit down. If you stumble about
if you're not going to hear what I have to say, get out. I
heard it.
Yes, but now you're saying that I'm on mushrooms or that I'm taking drugs like some 17-year-old.
I didn't see you where I asked if you were.
No, I was not.
Okay, but you could have just said that instead of going all defensive. That just made you look more guilty.
Well, it's so sweet of you to assume that that's what I was doing.
But didn't assume I asked the question.
You asked because you were assuming.
You're assuming that I was assuming.
No, maybe. Get out.
But am I making the tea or not?
Fine, you can make the tea.
Fine. I just as well I checked the cups were fine earlier. When you accused me of looting this place.
Face is broken.
Well, we can't save all of them.
No, I suppose not. I'm just gonna sit down for a minute.
Well, it's probably a good idea. Do you have bandages here, or do I use the ones from my pack?
I should have bandages, but somewhere in the washroom, probably. Just gonna sit down.
Do you know
here.
exactly where? I don't want to run into
my
anything.
bones ache. How do people live like this?
Here's your tea. I'll go and grab those bandages. Do you know exactly where they are? I don't want to run into any.
Thank you.
You know.
What? Well, I don't keep them in the bathroom. I keep those in.
But you said right. Oh, of course, right.
Yes, the bandages are in the bathroom. You're fine.
Right.
Go ahead, rummage around.
Right. Fine. I go rummage and grab some bandages. You got any salves around, or will I use the stuff in my pack? That's probably off. You've been gone for months.
How long have I been gone? Precisely?
I've not been keeping track of that. I got other things.
Oh, of course not.
Other things to worry about.
Right.
How many months?
I think, in my mind, I think I've been gone for 16 weeks or something like that, maybe 18, but I don't think that's real. I think some of that's gone. Some of that's not real. Some of that was my tower. A little over 2 months, maybe. Wow.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
Am I dying? My chest is very tight.
What do you mean?
It's like I'm finding it very difficult to breathe.
Do you also feel panicked?
A little lightheaded.
Right, that's probably it. Just take a sip of tea, take a deep breath.
There's a knock at your door, which is open.
Hello?
There's a...
Yeah, hide. No one can know that you're here.
Very slowly moving around the door on an extended neck. is the head of a turtle. And you see this kind of gruff looking head with this kind of terrapin looking snapping turtle face. Old looking head, green turtle face looking in, moving slowly from left to right, very stern looking. Are you two hiding?
I'm not hiding, but no one can know that this horrible man is in my house.
All right, give me a d20, please, Toby. An 8. He's hiding so poorly. He has a pack, right, with lots of stuff in and stuff. That's probably just in the doorway. This kind of old-looking turtle, looking around, settles on you, Sauna, and says, "Good to see you."
Yes, it's good to see you.
Please don't interrupt me. This is urgent.
So they sent you. Go on, I'm listening.
There is talk of an attack.
An attack?
Sverfneblin.
What?
You would know that
Goblins of
Sverfneblin
the Underdark,
are
right?
the evil gnomes that live under Yoskorin, and they are at endless war with the surface dwellers.
Are they attacking now?
If you look outside, there is chaos. There is rumbling from underground.
Right. Well, are we sure it's them, or could it perhaps just be the fact that magic is dying? Or dead?
What?
Certainly you feel it, Keck.
No.
Well, that's what has happened, and as soon as I get the energy, I'll walk down to see to myself and explain. Quite difficult.
Shall report to the elder.
Or perhaps it's best I come with you.
Very well.
All right. Could you wait outside just a moment, and I'll get my things.
Yes.
Great.
Will you bring Hippo?
Oh, for... You were supposed to hide.
It's cramped in here. There's not much room.
Cramped? What are you talking about? There's so much room. You could hide behind the lamp. You could hide behind the door. You could hide in the closet. You could literally hide in the bathroom.
I didn't have a lot of time. You rushed me. There's... Hi.
Good afternoon.
Right, she shouldn't really be walking much. She's got a bum leg.
I'm fine. I am fine, and we can walk now. In fact, you don't even need to wait outside. We're coming right now.
No, you know how she gets stubborn and that leg needs to be taken care of. She needs a rest, and
how
she's
I
having,
get.
you know.
I'm walking down there now.
Like
Are
that.
you coming, Keck?
Yes, I'm already on the way.
You want to get a head start? We can catch up.
No, I'm walking now.
I'm already going.
I'm walking out
He's
the door.
very slowly turning around.
Do you want to? You need anything to bring along?
No, no. I don't need anything or anyone for that matter.
But you're... I'm taking a look at that leg when we get there.
Come along now.
Right, fine.
We shall visit with the elder.
If they live long enough, sure.
He's walking really slow. He walks upright. He's not a tortoise. He's an anthropomorphic tortoise. He has like wraps around his legs, red and kind of cream colored. He does often carry with him a kind of glaive looking weapon. It's a very strange looking thing. Very rudimentary. Other than that, he has nothing with him. He's just walking extremely slowly. He does everything unbelievably slowly.
It's fine for me because I'm walking, having to breathe for the very first time, so I can hide the fact that I'm struggling a little bit from that monster Toby over there. Pretend I'm walking slowly to go with.
The three of you
Keck
walk
here.
slowly to the town.
Well, I walk alongside Keck, yes. How slowly is he walking? Is it unbearable?
It's unbearable.
It's definitely unbearable.
All right, well, perhaps Keck, you can catch up with us.
If you wish.
Yeah, yes. Or perhaps even stay here. Watch the cottage for a minute.
Yeah, there was tea just fresh made.
Yes.
Someone was ungrateful and just left unfinished.
It probably wasn't steeped long enough, but you could definitely have some tea if you'd like.
I don't want to be a bother.
You never a bother, Keck. Go ahead, have some tea, and we'll be back. All right? We'll be back before you know it.
Yeah, someone might as well make use of that cabin. It's been lying empty for months.
It's one's prerogative to leave and come and do whatever they want. And if I want to go away for 2 months, I don't need to tell anyone, especially my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
He's turning around very slowly.
Good to see you. There's no lemon cake in there, in case you were wondering. None whatsoever. Our friend's got plenty, so that's great. At least we know where we stand, eh? So,
We'll be back soon.
sooner rather than later.
And I'm going to now walk briskly, as best I can, really, because I'm breathing for the first time. Yeah, towards City.
Yeah, so you
very quickly.
Guys start moving down towards where the main village of City is, and this is only a short walk, but there is a kind of sense of strange danger. The rumbling continues, but the pops and the concussive waves seem to have stopped. It seems there isn't like a constant earthquake, but there has been a lot of noise and rumbling and crumbling, like the mountainside towards the south has suffered some sort of strange damage. As you guys start moving towards the town, give me another 2 rolls, 1 each.
Sure.
You telling me all this is because you and your buddies did all that?
Yes, I believe that we did. Did you miss the whole part about killing Deaveki and, chaos dying and...
The man god thing with
yes,
hands.
The 2 floating hands. Horrific, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
While you're walking along and speaking to Toby, you realize that behind him, up in a tree, is an animal that does not belong here.
Oh no.
It is an owl, and it is looking at you very keenly. It ruffles its feathers a moment, and then rushes towards you and lands on a very low branch nearby.
It's the same owl.
No.
From Aura's... Okay, all right. Ooh.
It's different looking.
Well, hello?
It ruffles its feathers before lifting a
Introduce
leg
yourself,
up
Toby. Don't be rude.
towards where you are.
I introduced myself to an owl. What's that even doing here?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Where is it looking?
At you.
At me? Oh. Hello?
I unsling my rifle.
Excuse you?
You can't tell me that's not suspicious.
It's a little bit suspicious, but you're not going to point your rifle at it.
I'm getting it ready to point it
barbarian?
at it if it tries anything funny.
What's it gonna do? Scratch out your eyes?
Yeah.
I'm so
Maybe.
terribly sorry for him, by the way. Hi, I'm Tsuna. Can I help you? Are you lost?
Upon one of its legs, you can see it has a little thin leather strap, Jess's.
Oh! Is there a note attached to it?
There's not a note, but there's a word sort of burned or pressed into the strap.
Oh my, what is it?
It says Keepy. And that is where we end today's session.
Oh, man.
I was not expecting that. Holy!
I wasn't expecting that either, actually.
So,
Holy.
that brings us to the end of this one. Welcome, Zakoticus.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Such a good reveal.
Bored.
Toby is here for however long Toby is here. And everyone is back doing their things and stuff. Each character returns to where they began, only to have to deal with a whole new set of things with one last quest to deal with, really. We'll find out how long this takes them, what is going on, where they're going to go, what's going to happen. Even I don't know. But we will rejoin everybody next week to see what's new, what's going on. Until then, we'll do a quick round of shout-outs before saying goodbye to everybody, and you can go and see where to find each of these wonderful people and question them on things and stuff. Let's start. There's an order on the screen that I'm going to go around with. Aura, Katie Peters Plays.
Hello, I'm Katie Peters Plays. I played Aura for you today, and damn, there's a lot today. I'm excited for next week, and I want to see. I want to see how we all end up together, and I hope that we get to meet, or Aura and the rest of us get to meet Toby at some point too.
No, you don't want to meet him. He's like a wart.
Oh,
Practically.
I don't know. Also, it's awesome. Even though I didn't get to RP with Zacatecus, it's always nice because the first time I ever RP'd was with Zacatecus and Brad on Sector 49. So it's exciting to see you here.
Good old days.
The good old days. Yeah. So you can find me at Katie Peters Plays on Twitch, Play Katie Play on Twitter. And yeah, I'm here sometimes for Gone on Wednesdays, which is PB's show. So
PB's show.
Me.
Fancy that, PB. Might as well tell him when that's on.
That's on Wednesdays at 4:30, and I'm the GM for that one. And you can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Pumpkinberry, and I am roasting. I'm so hot in here I might die. So that's the end of my shout out. Except that I loved this. I fucking love this, Brad. This was awesome. Zacatecus, you were amazing. You brought Toby to life. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
It was so typecast as well. It was just a flippant comment. PB was like, wouldn't it be great if we just got Zacatecus to come in and play?
No, I said, I beg of you.
Toby?
I said, please,
yeah,
I have one request.
I was like, all right. So there he is. There's another man on the show. Sorry, Bo. It's Zacatecus. Where can people find you? And thanks again for coming along and playing with us.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. I'm so happy to it's my first time role playing with PB. I played under for the I played under for the Tablestory Patreon one shots, and I think my first time with you is my GM, Brad. I think
is it
as well.
I don't know. I
so.
can't keep track of.
Yeah, I think so. So that's cool. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Zacatecus. You can find me Zacatecus everywhere on the internet. You can find me here on Tablestory on Tuesdays, where I play Alexander Pippin, a second-year Ravenclaw student at Hogwarts. So I look a little different then, but not much really. Still me, except I'm playing a 12-year-old instead of a 60-something-ish-year-old.
Yeah.
So
64
something.
You're older than me. Don't pretend you're not.
What about the other old man, Bo?
Hello.
I'm Disbiarix. I played Bobo for you today. And oh my god, what a great start to season 2. Brad, you did yourself.
It's not season 2, it's DLC.
Everybody was absolutely amazing. I'm also here on Tablestory with the Jameis View. We just started that D&D campaign. It's every Fridays, 4 p.m. EST, and I'm dressed up as an old lady there. No beard, sorry. But you can find me here at Disbiarix as well on Twitch, and I play variety games and horror games. So if you like that type of stuff, then yeah, come hang out. Thanks for the fun today, everybody.
And then the mortal, the reveal, by the way, the hand and the blow was so good.
So good.
Pocket, where can people find you? What are you doing?
You can find me at Pocket, Pokket. I'm playing Skyrim right now. I was in a Skyrim mood, so I downloaded 113 mods. I started playing.
And then spent 2 days getting them to work together.
No, pretty much. So I did that, and then now I'm finally playing again, and I can't wait to get halfway through and it bug out again, just like it did last time. But no, today was a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for 2 throwbacks to B Team. Really excited, especially since Dad seems to know something.
Where do you think he always runs off to?
I almost feel like I want to follow him, but he's like, stay here.
Speaking of, Brad, you've done such a good job of making me absolutely paranoid of everything, and it creeps me out that everyone where we landed is like, stay here. Don't go anywhere. You know, Plex wants Aura to stay put.
Yeah.
You know, Dad wants you two to stay put, and don't look at me like that. Don't.
Yeah, but the thing is, out of everyone, I feel like Ellie would be the one that's like, I don't want to stay here.
Right,
Yeah, I thought you wanted to kill him.
You must stay.
God, that's one reason
Yeah,
she
I wasn't
was.
sure if you were going to just walk in and kill him.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were doing. I thought you were.
Can I give a reveal? That's one reason she was crying. She wanted him dead, and he was still alive, and it was really upset. No, it's the end of it's chaos now. It's like this like apocalyptic chaos in the town, and she's like, I can't kill him now.
Yeah,
I need him. So
yeah, it's complicated for her.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's dead, and he's not dead.
Right.
And I can't do anything about it this time.
Yeah. So
it's an interesting conundrum to find yourself in. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were gonna do. All right. Well, there is still more stuff to do. You guys can continue with this next week, see where you end up. Hopefully you'll all join up at some point. But until then...
It's going to take a long time to get to each other, isn't it?
Well, we'll see about that.
Okay.
I don't know. I am now just facilitating whatever the fuck happens.
If I have to put up with Suna being
Listen.
for
I am a delight. You would be honored to put up with me for however long.
This is it now, everyone. I hope that you're aware. The bickering, the endless bickering. It was really nice to go from a confused kind of Cleggs and the slightly jealous, maybe, Alvin, to...
Yes.
Yeah, like, okay, that
the
caught me off.
PPP scene was just so good.
To, like,
it was so good.
I feel like Cleggs was
you
just
spelled my
kind
name
of...
wrong on the overlay.
It was. I knew it, dude. I had to
it.
spam. I realized at the last minute I needed one for the end. I didn't have it. This one, so I went like 5 minutes before this went live. So Sana, that's not a trick. That's just me. I had to spam out this overlay because I just made all the other ones. I knew I was going to get one. Normally, I send them to someone to proof. I'm like, can you just look at this with another pair of eyes? Doesn't matter. So I feel like Cleggs and because they're all like small town people is all it is, you know. They're like small town, and you're like, the world is about to explode, and they're like, I don't know about that. You lay down now.
I've seen more than them, and so it's like
it's insanity from their perspective.
I almost like the complete opposite happened with Zach though, where I'm like, there's no magic, and he's like, okay, I have someone I need to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. And then the flip to the other two where...
And even Holcon just like, okay, I'll get you a hand. Just wait here. Like, it's like, okay, it's coming from you, Ellie. It's probably bad.
Right, and the last time he saw you, you spun a really weird tale to him as well. So it kind of made sense to him.
And I looked like a vampire.
That's why Alvin was a little quicker to take to it, I think. Because he kind of experienced an element of it a little bit. He traveled with you guys for a moment, and
he went to Mama Numera too.
He was caught in a fight, and he saw some things. Whereas Cleggs is just like he's just a small town boy. So I don't know. We'll see how it works out. We'll see what Aura does about all of that. We'll see how Sana and young Ippo deal with their situation and how Ellie and Bo proceed in Bologna next week. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please do check out all of the content that we do on Tablestory. We've got all sorts of things going on. Again, like Disby said, we have a brand new show called The Chamois View, sponsored by ShamWow. That is on Fridays. You can catch the first very chaotic episode of that. It was really good. Disby does a British accent in it, and I tell you one thing, dude, people don't do British accents that well, and yours is good. I'm genuinely impressed by it, but I have seen it before, of course. We've seen it here before, but I like it. So if you want to check that out, that's the new show we have on Fridays here, and you can catch up in time to watch the first episode for the second episode this week. And then all the rest of the shows with everyone in. throughout the week. Thanks for watching. Go and check out all these wonderful people, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out. It's not over yet.
Bye now. Bye. Bye.